Hello everybody, this is Waldorf,
And this is Statler.
and today we're looking at our Armies in Review series, which needs a little bit of explaining because this is not an army.
That's true.
This is kind of our product line, I guess.
This is one time we're going to do product reviews, or if we're going to show off an army that's been painted and we just want to show it off.
Which is a good idea. I should do that more.
We've been talking about it.
Yeah, I need to. We've talked about doing it with your armies and my armies, and
But we haven't done it.
And I've also talked about, and I know I've talked about it before, about doing it with pictures of armies
Correct.
Singling out an army at a tournament,
Exactly.
making some likes.
Exactly.
Anyway, moving on. So today we're going to be looking at the table. The company name is Table War. They put out the Grassy Plains 2 gaming mat.
And they put out a number of
They
mats.
put out a number of mats. This is the Grassy Plains 2.
Right.
These happen to be the mats you've seen in my games.
Right.
If you watch our battle reports. So,
So here's a link to
there's the Table War website. It's tablewar.com. From there, you can pop around the website. They've got plenty to look for there.
And I think probably people know the name. You hear Fat Mat a lot.
Correct.
And that's when they're very common in many hobby shops. But
They are.
the
So, this one, like I said, this one's the 6x4 Grassy Plains mat. You notice I've been smart and not bothered to put my name on this, so in case I lose it, no one will ever return it to me.
there you go.
The one of the negatives, very tiny negative in this mat, is it is printed on the corner of the mat.
The name of the company
The
is
name of the
printed.
company's printed.
Although this is quite common with all these
And
neoprene mats.
it is very, this one does have very small printing
Yeah.
on the very, and it's off to the corner.
Right. Now this is a
You can
neoprene
see-
maybe which is basically means like it's a mouse pad material.
Correct.
It's rubber on the bottom with like a
Yep.
cloth on top.
Yep.
Printed. It looks 3D even though it's 2D.
And you can see over there, like we talked about a second ago, the name is there in the bottom right corner.
Yep.
Barely shows up, but it does, so it just needed to be mentioned.
Right.
Now, I will say, I like the design of this mat. I like the coloration. I like the what is it? The imprint.
Yes. So basically, the whatever they screened on there looks really good.
Correct. It's really good. Then you can see a couple slides of that same.
Right.
What's
not good on this mat is the corners.
The edges, which I'll go back and show you because it shows up a little bit. This one's kind of got, you can't tell because of the back corner back there is kind of intentionally folded.
Right.
Here we go. Here's this flat screen of it.
So you can see on the sides, the 4-foot sides, it's not laying perfectly flat.
It's not quite as thick as material as some of the other mats I have.
Right.
And you can see this one lays flat after being unrolled. It does not lay completely flat on the edges.
On the far edges.
You can see the slight curl over here on the left, and
there's one on the right too, but you can't see because of the lighting.
It's even smaller on the right.
Yeah.
Just the slight negative to this mat.
Right.
I mean, if you want to call that a negative. It's not like it sticks up or anything. It's just, like I said, you can see it curling up a little bit there.
Right.
There's the backing material.
So
a good picture of
got
that.
The rubber with a little grippy thing, so it doesn't slide around on your table. If you play on your dining room table, this is a good mat for that.
And there's just another view of that.
Yep.
So it also comes with a handy carrying case.
Yeah, you have to roll these up. You can't fold them up and stick them in your box or bag or whatever. They need to be rolled.
They do need to be rolled. And this is why the curling that you saw in that previous picture is there. Because they are rolled up and stored for a week or two, especially mine, a week or two at a time.
Well, in the case of this particular mat, not all of them have that problem. But
which one you're doing? This one has this problem, if you want to call it that again.
Right.
So, but that's going to do it. I do love the pattern on this one. It's one of the favorite ones I have. I like them all.
Yeah.
But this is one of the ones I liked a lot. I guess the downside to it is typically getting terrain on top of it.
Well, I'm not a huge fan of neoprene mats. I don't tend to use them in most of my games. I think they're fantastic for 9th Age because you can push your troops along them very so ease of use.
Moving trays slide
very well on them. But one of the things, you can't get that rolling effect. The hills are hills.
Correct.
And of course, you can't really match. Your hills are going to look different than the terrain that they're
that's
on.
printed on the board.
Unless you want to spend a whole bunch of money and
do a separate piece of set of terrain for each one.
Yeah, get 2 mats and cut the neoprene off, and then
separate
it from the rubber, and then glue it to the top of your hill. I guess you could do that. So
you are nuts.
No, yeah,
no. So yeah, they definitely don't want to do that. So
let's go to the ratings.
You want to look at this one? Let's see what we got. So back to the end. So what we've got is...
So this carrying case is 4 foot wide. You can carry it over your shoulder.
Correct. And you set it over your shoulder ways. Cosmetically, only because of the curl, took a little bit of a ding.
And the cosmetics got a couple things. This is how does it look on the tabletop?
Right.
And the mat itself looks great, but to our earlier point, when you have hills, they look stuck on.
They do.
So you don't have that.
I mean, you've seen it in the battle reports. The hills and the forest are stuck onto it.
You don't feel like they have dimension. So we ding that, and then this one got a little bit extra ding because of the curly sides. And that's 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah. The ease of transport, of course, it's 4. It is you do have to roll them up. They're not light.
They have a little bit of heft to them. I mean, they're not super heavy, but you feel it on your shoulder.
You won't notice if you're carrying one, but if you're like me setting up a game day, when you're carrying 4 of them,
you'll notice. Or you can notice it too when you're carrying all your stuff in your hands and they're on your shoulder and it's falling off your shoulder, Yeah.
Ease of use as far as use during a game. Like I said,
you roll it out, it's on the table.
It's on the table, and your models slide all over the place.
And any kind of models, whether they're skirmish or whatever, it's very easy because it's a very flat surface.
Another thing that's kind of just almost any mat will do it, except for the hard. When you go to the tournament, you see those hard, just kind of a textured wood.
Textured wood or whatever,
One thing these mats do really well as included, all of them, is kind of deaden the impact of dice.
Yes.
Tossed on them.
So not as loud.
So you don't have the
rattling
dice.
If you drop your figures, it's not going to chip.
It's not going to chip and scratch them up.
Yeah. You see those wood, those old ones.
It's like a textured wood.
Yes.
It's like
you push your tray over and it scrapes all the paint off the bottom. You see that a lot. But yeah.
Yep.
Then we have value. These range anywhere, depends on, I forgot how much these were. I think these were 90s.
About $80.
Yeah. They tend to range between
70 and 80, 90
$70 to $95, depending on the company and the style and whatever. And that's a great value. I mean, there are cheaper options out there,
right?
But for something that just throws down and can really just elevate the look of your game, it's a good value. It's a really good value, really durable because of the durability.
I mean, you saw my mat. That's my mat. I've been using that mat you've seen it in tons of battle reports all through.
Right.
It's not damaged. I've spilled drinks on it.
Well, ironically, I was at Huzzah Hobbies last Friday, and they were cleaning off one of the mats that somebody had spilled their food and drink and just left. Really nice person. And
one of the store mats.
Yes. So, and got some water, some paper towels, and boom, cleaned it all up, and it was done. They weren't happy to clean it, but But had that been like a terrain board or something else, it would have been ruined.
Correct.
So yeah.
Yeah, one with like we used to do with the real grass on it.
Right. You're flocking boards and all that. So with that, and you can drop it, nothing's going to happen to it.
Yep.
And you can lean on it. You see people putting it. It's actually kind of nice when you got your elbows. You see people put their elbows on the table.
Right.
Get a little bit of padding going on.
A little bit of padding.
Yeah.
So based on all that, overall we rated it a 4.5. It's really a 4.4 or something, but rounded up to 4.5.
Rounding everything else to halves.
To the halves.
So 4.5 blades of grass out of 5.
For the Table War gaming mat. All right.
Okay.
That's going to do it. Thanks for listening.